Africa, say it louder. Say Shalom. Salam alaikum. 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 Assalamu alaikum.
United we stand, divided we fall. All we need is freedom. All we need is love. Free Africans free. Free Africans free.
Be free, be free, free from slavery. Free, be free, be free, free from slavery. Free, free yourself from anti-slavery. Free, free yourself from anti-slavery. Free, free yourself from anti-slavery. Free, be free, be free, free from slavery. Be free, be free, free from slavery. Yeah.
We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war.
Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, African one. If you wanna be free, the most simplest one in the world. Get yourself the bell of reggae music coming straight to you from the one of the most peaceful man. So many lying down on the streets, whatever them with their guns in the hands. Get yourself the most free time. I preach about freedom. Preach about freedom.
We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war.
Better look on the street as a lesson, youth. Stop violence as a lesson. You have to listen and be a man. The music we are doing is not a music for fun. We are preaching, hear it loud and clear. Hey, night and day, no sleeping it out. Better preach, let the people hear. Better preach, let the blind feel. The sound of freedom and love. The sound of freedom and love. The sound of freedom and love. The sound of African one love. In the production. Salam alaikum.
Good morning. Good morning in North America and good morning home in South Sudan and good evening in Australia. Welcome to episode of Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. It is March 30th, 2024. As you can see below the screen, the topic of today, of course, it is already morning here, it's midnight. The topic that we are discussing today, the stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. الحجر الذي رفضه البناؤون صار رأس الزاوية. The topic actually is a verse from the Bible. We took this verse to be our topic today, which is on Mark Mark chapter 12, 1 to 13. And also you can find that in Psalm and Isaiah within the Bible. So we took that because it's so crucial today. Of course, I welcome all of you, viewers of Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. Wherever you tune in today, I want you to share this live episode on Facebook, in Clubhouse, as well on the YouTube. We are live simultaneously from Facebook and YouTube at the same times. And also you can subscribe our channel right there on the YouTube. It's under the name John Cormayol. So when you subscribe our channel, you can get all the new video that actually we are posting, or when we go live, because mostly we just, go live and address this. So this is a very important topic that we are discussing today. And I would like to say also, Happy Easter, because it is Saturday today, the great Saturday, and tomorrow actually is Sunday Easter. And actually, particularly that's why I chose that topic, because that topic is kind of inclined with the celebration that is going to take place tomorrow. Of course, the stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. This is something when Jesus was teaching his disciples about building good and who is really the cornerstone. And of course, when we talk about the cornerstone of everything, we're talking about the building here. If you wanted to build a house, you have to build it in a strong foundation, strong cornerstone. And that's why when you build it in a strong cornerstone, right, on the rocky, it's likely to be stronger. And if the wind come or the rain, لو جاء أمطار لو جاء ريح وغيره, البيت ما بيوقع, البيت بيثبت. So it's going to be stronger. This is not limited only to a house. It's not limited to a house that can be on a strong cornerstone. And it's even on the relationship that we build among ourselves. Your relationship with your partner, if you don't have that strong tie principle, which is mean here, you have to have that strong principle, and then that relationship is likely to fail. The same thing with the marriages. It has to be built on strong cornerstone to last. And sometimes circumstances happen, but even though if circumstances happen, if that marriage was built on that cornerstone, which is on principle and the truth, is likely, to stand, and it's likely to be stronger. And this is good learning from these verses and that Bible, actually. And that's why we chose that today. Again, as I said, it's not limited to building a house or to building a building, whether it can be a stadium or, a hotel and whatever it can be, It has to be built on a strong cornerstone. And also a nation can be built in its cornerstone, a strong cornerstone. If you build that nation on that nation will last, and that nation, it will stay together and will stay stronger. And what I meant here, and what the verse meant in the Bible also, it meant it's all about the truth. When you're doing it right, when you do everything right, it will last. When you do it right, you will maintain it. You will be maintaining it, and it will last, and it will make it good of that actually what you have built. Of course, we have been talking every time, and we have been persisting, and we have been educating. Civic education is because of what we have seen happening in our country, and we cannot just choose to remain silent. We have to do a civic education. Of course, our president, he's a Christian, and he's a believer, as far as I know. So he's going to go to Sunday Eastern, and pray, for resurrection of the Lord Jesus Christ. And actually, that's why I said, would he just, pray and just revisit what happened from 2005 up to 2024? What has he done as one of the people that actually builders, one of the people that built this nation, the founding of this nation, what have he done? Did he build this nation as his contribution on a strong cornerstone, or was he actually a part of the destruction It caused the destruction for this nation called the Republic of South Sudan. You see, so there is a reason that I chose this topic today, because it has something to do with that. Of course, this nation was not built on a strong cornerstone. And why would I say that? Because South Sudan and South Sudanese, they have been fighting for three main core values, which is justice, liberty, and prosperity. And I keep repeating these. I keep repeating this every time, keep talking about the justice, liberty, and prosperity, because these are the principles. These are the principles that we are fighting for. And these three, okay, supposed to be a cornerstone, a strong corner, a stone for us. They're supposed to be the stone, a stone that actually we've been fighting for. But unfortunately, after we gain independence, they get abandoned. The justice and liberty and prosperity, they've been abandoned. The vision and mission have been thrown in the garbage, or just been put there in the drawer, and nobody's talking even about it. If you guys want me to speak Arabic too, I can do, because sometimes some people get thrown out because by speaking one language and others they don't understand, and then they don't like that, and then they tend to to go away. But if you guys want me to continue with English, no problem, I would do that. But if you guys want me to switch sometime, mix it up, Arrow English, whatever you call it, I can do that as well. So our country was not being built on a strong stone. And that's why we see what happening with economic meltdown, with failing. And I did talk about how, we're supposed to be strategizing. We are a dead land country. We are a landlocked country. We don't have, we are not on the shore. We are not on the sea. We don't have a port. And that require, citizens require those who are in charge of the affair of the country to think critically, English, okay, I'll continue English. To think critically, to do the right thing, to strategize, to put the short-term and long-term strategy for the nation. But it did not happen. Our uncles, our brothers, actually, upon we gain independence, everybody's, start looking for their fair share, they reward themselves. I want to get this. They start stealing and getting whatever they wanted. And they have forgotten even, to secure this country. As I said, we have enough oil, and that oil actually, we should have diversified our economy, not to be dependent only on the oil. It would have been a good idea, to build a refinery, because you are a landlocked country. You have no way, of importing your oil, and unless you have to pay transition fees. And we are aware that actually after South Sudan gained independence, there's something called cooperation agreement that was signed in Addis Ababa in 2012 between Sudan and South Sudan. And on that actual agreement, Sudan imposed discriminatory fees. Now, South Sudan is paying $9 per barrel to go for the oil to go underneath Sudan to go to Port Sudan. And also there is other, transition fees that we are paying. There is the fee, there's so many. So they end up, getting $30 per barrel. So it's almost half. It's almost half actually they are getting, which is really ridiculously. And that's why I'm saying that those who are in charge of the country, they're supposed to know better. They're supposed to sit down on the table and say, hey, this is what we are having now. Since we are a landlocked country, what do we need to do? We need to build a refinery. It's supposed to be the one of the top priority, to build a refinery so you can refine the oil locally. And if you are refining oil locally, actually, you will employ a lot of people, thousands of thousands. Let's say you build a refinery and the capacity of refining 600,000 barrels a day, 500,000 barrels, you refine it within the country. So that actually you are going to employ thousands of engineers and local. And plus also there is a petroleum product, which is natural gas and other that you will use for tarmac roads and natural gas that actually you are using it. You are using that natural gas right now for, instead of people using firewood, to cook, they are likely to use that natural gas, for cooking and others. and that will eliminate people cutting the trees. That will cause deforestation, and the temperatures will be hotter because we know that the global warming. But our people actually, they did not think about this. They did not think about this, and they did not think even the region, in the region there will be more problems. But actually, always ask a question: what if? What if? What if Sudan have a war? What if Sudan shut down the oil? What if Uganda just decided that, hey, I don't want to have a relationship with South Sudan? And then the lifeline, the only road that we have from Juba, normally road to Mombasa, it shut down. What if Kenya said, oh, we don't want anyone here, we don't want to have anything? What if Ethiopia? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's why you have to strategize from the beginning. You have to think you can have an alternative. Okay, you can have an alternative. There is no way you can just sit there and say, I will be depending on this without thinking, without even developing, without even doing maintenance or on the oil field. Nothing. And that's why I said government of President Salva Kiir Mayar is a failure. They have failed people of South Sudan big time. And they continue to fail people of South Sudan big time. You see, you cannot only focus on oil. Yes, oil is a good sources of the income. You sell it, you get the money, you get the dollars. But what would you need with that money? You have to diversify economy by actually making a policy that you want to farm, big farm in the country. And if you are farming big, now you are able to produce food locally. I saw a new appointed minister of finance yesterday. He was talking about this. And this is what we have been saying for 6 years. I have been talking about diversification of economy, that actually we need to farm. We have 80% of our land qualified for agriculture. There is a need to farm so we can produce our food locally. If we are producing our food locally, now our pound is going to be stronger. It's going to have a value. You see, because a farmer from Yei or from Awarial, from Bor or from Rubek, from all these areas that are around Juba, okay, from rural area, they don't need dollars. They don't need US dollars when they farm. And if you farm, if the policy of the government, if you farm, okay, crops, vegetables, whatever you name it, and then they will go to the market, and then the citizen will buy them with pounds, okay, and that actually will stabilize your economy, and your money, your local currency, will have that value. But if you are not farming, if you are depending on foreign country like Uganda and Kenya, on your own food commodities, what is going to happen? So that's a losing situation, because now you are going to sell oil, okay, and then you get the hard currency, you get the dollars. And instead of using this dollar for other stuff, to buy medicine or, to buy things that you don't produce locally, medicines, cars, and other stuff, now you are taking this oil to go and buy the commodity, to go and buy crops, to go and buy flour, to go and buy wheat, to go and buy something that actually you are not supposed to be doing. But the kleptocracy that President Kiir has created, they want it that way because they did not want to build vibrant economy. They don't want to build strong institution. They want people of South Sudan to be under his mercy because he wants to rule for life. That is why it happened that way. It didn't just happen from a blue. It was a structure. It was a structure. This is his plan. Because if the nation is self-independent, if we are producing our food locally, and if the people are eating from what they are farming, and now will be things people are be asking about their right, their right of expression, schools to be constructed, hospitals, and more developmental project in the country. But he didn't want something like that to happen. That's why it had to create all this, violence and communal violence among the people, and make us dependency on Uganda when it comes to commodities. And this is what happened. This is the result of it. And that's why I came out with this today. The stone that builders rejected has become the cornerstone. So you rejected the right thing. You rejected to work. You rejected to farm. You rejected to diversify your economy. You rejected good ideas. But at the end of the day, you have to come around for these good ideas. You have to come around to farm. There is no way out. Now the Minister of Finance start talking about this, that actually there is no way out. We have to produce. We have to produce. We have to produce. And this is what we are saying. And when we talk about that, when we say this, we have been called as people who want to sell the country, people who are against the country. But we are not. We are against the policy of the president. We are against the policy of the regime. But actually, we are not against the country. We love the country. And that's why we come out with ideas that will take this country to the next level. So this is the result, my dear brothers and sisters. This is the result of putting people who are not competitive in the affairs of the country. This is the result that we are getting right now. And that's why we are calling upon you for your rights. This is your right. Salva Kiir from 2005 all the way to 2024 has not done anything. What he represented in the country is a chaos, is a political turmoil, is a division, is a death, is just a chaos in the country. That's why change is needed. Because if we are not bringing change, and then nothing will happen. And then people will continue to suffer. Now, look what is the level that we are getting into? The hunger. People are so hungry in Juba. There is no food, you know. The US dollar today, 100 US dollars is 245,000 South Sudanese. 100 US dollars. So imagine, because now we are not producing, we are not farming, we are not doing anything, we don't have any local product. Then now, when a business person, a small business person, going to Uganda to bring commodities, and he's buying them because the US dollar is now it's high price, how much is going to sell it? It will sell them with high prices. And even when he wanted to go next week, the price of dollar keep going up. So he's not going even to keep up with that. It's not going to keep up with that. It's going to be really chaotic situation. So it is bad. And that's why having a local product will value your currency, and you are not going to needing, a foreign currency or a hard currency. So this is the making of President Kiir and the kleptocracy regime that we have in Juba. So to get a break from this, that's why we need change. And change cannot happen like that. That change requires all the citizens to do an uprising. That's the only way. And if we don't do that, then nothing is going to happen. And I keep calling upon you, the concerned citizen, even the mathographs, you have this opportunity, to call upon them. If I were Salva Kiir Mayardit, but I know we can talk daylight, but Kiir will not listen. The people that we are addressing, the people I'm addressing when I'm talking are the citizen. It's not him, because I know he will not listen. It doesn't matter what we say. He's not going to listen. Okay. But he need to be forced to resign. If he was a man of courage, a man that have a wisdom, in this Easter, it would have been a time for him to resign and said, you know what, enough. I took you to this mess that actually have no ended. I have to go and retire and leave you and now deal with your affairs. That exactly would have happened. But he will not do it, because President Kiir has committed atrocity. It was so brutal. And he knows if he retire or if he leave, if he resign, the justice will follow him. And because the justice will follow him, he wants to die in power. But we should not allow that to happen. We can force him out of this power. Because if we wait, as many people now are saying, he's an old man, wait, just let him die, and then after that, well, what guarantee that he's going to die? You may die before him, okay? And what about if he die and then one bad guy also come and then does the same thing, are you going to wait for another bad person to die? It's not realistic, of course. That's not realistic. So, my dear brothers and sisters, we need to think. We need to think critically. I came across also today on people were talking about, there is the one Somali guy, actually, he doing some business in Juba. And that Somali guy actually he has some issues with authorities. He got fed up, with what happening in South Sudan. Now he left South Sudan and he started making some, videos on TikTok, blaming the government of South Sudan and talking about how these people are not responsible. The government is responsible. And the citizen too, they don't know what they're doing. And because, well, he has the right to blame the citizen because the citizen are seeing what's happening and they are keeping quiet and they are suffering and they are keeping quiet. So this Somali has been charged with a lot of money. People are just wanted to rip him off. They wanted to rob him when he was coming through, normally going to Juba. And then he refused. Now he's not going to South Sudan anymore. And he just left. And now he's making some video. And I came across people were talking on TikTok yesterday, and actually I joined them. They put that photo of Somali guy, his name Muhammad Somali, they call him. And they were talking about him bitterly, saying that this guy disrespected South Sudan, disrespected the government, disrespected the citizen. And I asked them, give me a chance, and they gave me a chance. I said, wait a minute. Why would you blame this guy? Why you blame a Somali guy, a business Somali guy? They say we have to blame him because now he doesn't know what we're going through, and why would he blame South Sudan? And I asked them a very clear question. You should blame your government. You are not supposed to be blaming foreigners who are conducting business in South Sudan. You open your country to foreigners to come and do business. The government is the one that opened that, right? To conduct a business in South Sudan. That is fine. Who regulate these foreigners? It's the government is the one that regulating them. They don't regulate themselves. So Muhammad is Somali, the one that is complaining, you should not blame him because the guy is so bitter about what happened in South Sudan. You should blame your own government because the government is the one that allowing them to come and do this business, okay, in South Sudan and rob them, okay, and those foreigners, they rob the citizen. So when I start talking about that, they got mad at me. They said, why would you say that? And you don't love the country. And I said, actually, I love the country. If I don't love the country, I wouldn't say that. Because you have to blame the right person that needed to be blamed. You cannot blame, the shadow of the elephant. If the elephant is causing destruction, you cannot go and say, oh, the shadow of the elephant actually is the one that causing the problem. You got to blame the elephant because the elephant is the one that doing it. So blaming Somali or blaming Eritrean or blaming Ethiopian, it's not going to do anything, right? Why? Because if you see now in South Sudan, right, who are conducting the businesses, the regular businesses, you get the Eritrean, they are the one that bringing the water to the citizen. They are the one that bringing the water with the tankers. A country that has 11 or 12 years old. Since 2005, we almost like a country. Imagine, and we have millions and millions and millions of dollars. But because of corruption of President Kiir, there is no clean water in Juba. Was it very difficult to have water being delivered to the houses in Juba? It's not that difficult. They would have done that, but they chose not to do it because they wanted to be corrupt. They chose to partners. Those in the government, they chose actually to be partners with the foreigners. Because when someone come here and say, oh, well, the Ethiopian, the Eritrean, the Ugandan, the Kenyan, and all these things, the Lebanese and Turkish and all this, they ruin our country. No. Those officials in the government are the one actually partners with the businesses with them. So don't listen when they are telling you on Uganda are the one that owning these and Ethiopian are owning this. No. South Sudanese officials, they have shares of these hotels. Okay. And the reason actually they did not say, oh, this is owned by South Sudanese because they are fear. They are fear of you. They are fear of citizens. that people will ask him, where you get this money from? This is our money. And that's why they have to do kind of money laundering. They bring a foreign national, and they will make that foreign national actually in charge of the hotel, pretended to be the owner of that hotel, but in reality it's owned by a minister, it's owned by a president, it's owned by those South Sudan. Please go down to the audience. Go down to audience, please. You know, and that's what would that something that is happening. You know, so you cannot blame, you know, those foreign nationals who are doing business in the country. If you cannot deliver clean water, your own government is not delivering you clean water, and now you are coming and saying the Somali is the problem. Somalia is not a problem. Somalian actually, they have been welcomed, and they have been welcomed by your government, and they have been protected by them to do this government because they share the business. They are partners with those in the government. That is what happening. Okay. So I tell them now, do not blame, because Eritrean now, they are the one that bringing the water. Can you imagine? I don't know, it's a month ago, in a year ago, or 2 years ago, when Eritrean, like around 3 years ago, when Eritrean did like a strike, when they said that we are not going to deliver the water because we need prices to be, we need more money. What happened? People went thirsty in Juba. People went thirsty in Juba, right? So you should blame our government. We cannot blame that. Ethiopian are in charge of hotels, are in charge of bars. Huh? Hotels, bars, Marisa, Ethiopian are the one in charge. Yes, again, because they're a partnership between those business people, the one that you see, they are business people in Juba, with South Sudanese official. And actually with the hotel, there is no taxation. They are not taxed. Why? Because those officials, they don't want to pay tax to the government. Because these are their money. These are their properties. And if they are their properties and they are working the government, they don't want to be taxed. You see how they are doing corruption, right? Again, you come to a small shop, and I talk about it, you know, in my last 3 episodes. Small shops are owned by Darfurian from Sudan. When we were part of Sudan, when we were one with Sudan, there are clear regulation that a foreign national cannot own a small business. Foreign national cannot own a small business. Okay? If you are a foreign national, you want to do investment, coming with big investment that will employ the citizen, that will open the factory, and you invest in the country, that's fine. You can invest. But like to open a small shop selling soap, selling candy, selling, simple things, selling fish, dry fish, and all these things, selling clothes. These are the local one. The local are the one that can run that business. But imagine how our government is regulating. It's the government is allowing that to happen. It's the same government that as you are saying that, oh, this is our government. They are the one that allowing that. You see. So we cannot go ahead and go and blame these people, and blame Ugandans, and blame Kenyan, and blame Eritrean. You go to Ethiopia again, you go to Juba again, who are doing like hair salon and manicure and all these things that actually locals supposed to be doing, are Kenyan, are Ugandan. You see restaurant also again are Kenyan, are Ugandan, are Turkish even, they are doing restaurant. Lebanese also with the hotels. Okay, the other Arab countries like Dubai and all this, of course, they are the ones that have the airlines. I know we cannot go there because I don't think so. There is a South Sudan with huge capital, capital that can afford to have airlines. I know Yinduang has, but airplanes, they were bad and it doesn't have insurance on those. Okay, that would have been role of the government to do those, but these guys, they don't care because they wanted to steal, they wanted to stay there. So for you, the one that were just hammering on me saying that why would you say that and all this thing, you need to blame the right person, which is the government of South Sudan. He's the one that invited those foreign nationals to come and invest in water. Is it difficult for you, for South Sudan, to be giving a small loan from the bank, the Central Bank of South Sudan, to have a tanker to deliver the water to the neighborhood like Hayasaura, Gumba, Sharikat, Wayne, and all these things, is it difficult? But the government don't want to do that because they want to be share of these tankers so the money can go for them, those officials. They did it deliberately. They did it deliberately. Those Wewe and those Ugandan, those Kenyan and those, they have been invited. Okay. So now you're blaming these guys, and our president can give $1 million. $1 million, to a girls like Nanyandeng. You can give them $1 million. Nadachai can give them millions of dollars just simply because they are mistress to Mr. President. $1 million that actually can make Juba drink clean water. $1 million make all entire Juba drink clean water. Can you imagine? But the president is giving them. He's giving them to just girls, who are coming to J1. So now, who are you really going to blame? You cannot blame anyone else, You cannot blame anyone else. And that's why I'm saying the blame should be to this government. And if we are keep blaming this government, just blame, and we are not doing anything, and then we don't know our rights. We don't know our right. And that's one of the reasons I'm sitting here every time to talk about the right. So those who don't know their rights, and this is what I told them. One day we were just hammering on me, and I said, you don't know your right. If you really know your rights, you would have an opportunity. You would have that opportunity to go and call upon your brother and your sister, said, enough is enough. We have been waiting for a very long time. We have been so patient. But this president, with this regime, they will never do anything. Yes, we are lucky. We fought the common enemy. We came, we voted together. We have a country. Even President Kiir was saying that I don't have people who can work. I have people who can eat. He's the one actually, because he's the one entertaining that. He recycled. He appointed the same people who steal and who do bad things. Look, now the Minister of Presidential Affairs, Joseph Bakassi Bakasro. Do you remember when we was talking, when he was like kind of opposition, when he was saying that our president has been lying always. Okay, he has been lying, and with President Kiir, nothing is going to be achieved. And our country since 2005 is going downhill, and nothing is changing. Bakasro now he's in government, he's defending the government. I have his clip actually. One day I can play it for you guys. You guys can see what he have said exactly. What do you have to say exactly? So this now required the citizen. It required the citizen to rise up. Bakasro said this, a couple of years back, that actually citizens of South Sudan need to rise up. They need to rise up. Now we cannot afford the price of bread. I watched a video for a man in Malakal actually was talking that one bread is 1,000 South Sudanese pound. One bread is 1,000 South Sudanese pounds. So now he went ahead and bought 5 bread for 5,000. That's what he has. Okay, and he said, "This now is not going to feed my kids and my wife because they are like 8, and he bought 5. If you divide them among themselves, 5 people will get 5 bread, and you still have 3 people without a bread. So what is that? And what is that? And for how long are we going to be suffering and keeping quiet? How long are you going to be suffering, people of South Sudan? This is getting out of control. And this is the topic of today, of the day now. People in Juba, they are just talking about food, something to eat for a day. Food, something to eat for a day. So if that is the case, we have that opportunity. You have that opportunity to rise up and say enough is enough. I know we have been called names and all these things, but my brother and sisters, there's a lot of people in Juba. There is a lot of people in Wow, in Awil, in all this, town in South Sudan, but they don't have that ability to speak. If they speak, something bad will happen to them. And we are the voice for the voiceless, right? We are here to speak on your behalf. But you must put this to an end. No one else is going to put it to an end. So As I said, the Minister of Finance and Planning said that the only way, because he was asked, what is the way out of this economic crisis? And he said, we are trying to find fund to eject that fund on economy so we can be a little bit better. But above all, nothing is going to improve unless we have to produce. That's what he said. He said, if we produce, that would be the only thing. We have to farm. And this is what we have been saying for 6-7 years. And our message has been ignored. We are saying that there is no way you can be an independent nation without a plan, without producing your own food, without producing a small production for the citizen. There is no way. There's no way you can just get the oil money and divide them among themselves, those who are in charge, those who are in power, and then leave the citizen to suffer. This is the results. The collapse of economy, the government was aware of it. It is something that's coming because of lack of planning and lack of political will to do the right thing. So when I saw a Minister of Finance and Planning talking about how we need to farm, and I said, here you go. Here you go. This is our message. Here you go. The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. That's the right thing that should have been done from the beginning. Long time ago. Since 2005, we should have been farm. It would have been a policy of the government to farm and do this so we can have food locally. Then you will not need the dollars. Now you are coming back to our message that we have been saying for a long time. But President Kiir actually is acting like Ayatollah of South Sudan. He's acting like Ayatollah Khomeini. Even with the suffering that people are going through, he has been traveling all over Africa, going to Congo, going to Angola, just going, talking about the peace in the great lake region, and people are dying from hunger home. And he cannot even say a word about it. He cannot even say anything about it. Because actually he sees himself is bigger than this. He doesn't care about this. There are some small people who will deal about this. And how they're going to deal about this anyway, and you are the one that's taking money. And that's why I said he's acting like Ayatollah Khomeini, and even Ayatollah of Iran. That President Kiir wanted to be Ayatollah because he's just a supreme leader, of the country. Even Ayatollah of Iran, the opposition and the government, they are all his people. Ayatollah of Iran is fair to a citizen. The citizens are not dying from hunger. He allowed the fair process to take place. People can compete in the government, somebody to be elected. And whoever get elected will form the government and it will do the executive work. It will provide the services. But how you can be a supreme leader like what Kiir is doing now? He's become a supreme leader. He's a dictator and a supreme leader of South Sudan. He cannot even talk about economic. He cannot even talk about the communal violence that he created. He cannot talk about this. He cannot talk about the suffering. He cannot talk about the salaries that are not going to the soldiers. He cannot talk about anything. Suffering citizen. He's just there to travel, going from here to country to country. He's like a supreme leader, renting a foreign, planes. Rwanda Air, Kenya Air, Ethiopian Air. But if you wanted to be a supreme leader, at least let people have food. At least let those working with you provide services. You are draining the economy. You are taking the money and making people suffer. I never seen a dictator like this. Most dictators, they provide at least some services. But the only thing that they don't want people to mess with is the power. Yeah, is the power, at least. But the dictator that we have, he needs to cling to the power, the money, everything. everything. And that's why I'm saying this is a slow motion death for the nation, for the people of South Sudan. And if that's the case, we cannot take it anymore. And that's why you need to rise up. We need to rise up. We need to rise up. I know it sounds strange to some people, but I know when we start talking 2017 here on the social media, and up to date we are talking, some people, they may not even thinking about this, it will get to this point, or they will feel this because they were eating with uncles. They were enjoying with uncles. But right now, it got to the point that they are feeling the pain. And this is what we have been saying for a long, long, long time. That, Jama, this country of ours, we need to think carefully. We need to think carefully. Time has come. And time has come for you and I to act. And we need to act now. There is no time to be wasted. It's no longer time to be wasted. We cannot see any light at the end of the tunnel as long as Salva Kiir is in charge. It will not do anything. You know, don't be deceived again. He will not do anything. He hasn't done it for 19 years. He hasn't done it for 19 years. He hasn't done it for years. Do you think he's going to do anything? He will not. And he will not even comfort you with words. He will not. Because he is entitled. President Kirsi is entitled of this country. Like he owned this country. See, when he was traveling, see how First Lady was demanding money? You know, Mary Yandi was demanding money. Was demanding millions of dollars from the Minister of Petroleum. Even the director managing the Nile Pad. You know, I read an article, got so frustrated that actually President Kiir was traveling from Congo to Angola, and they were sending messages to manage director of Nile Pad, indicating that we are short of money, we need $1 million. They need $1 million. And then managing director of Nile Pad actually had to find a way to give them money. And he was so mad about this. Because he was complaining too, even I cannot find a way to pay allowances, okay, for the employee of Nile Pad because it's Easter time, right? He cannot. But now he has to prioritize to give the money. See, the president is traveling and he's demanding money from Nile Pad, okay? And the citizens are suffering. There is no food, nothing even in the market. The SSPDF are not receiving their salaries. 6 months, everybody behind, and they are not getting anything. Can you imagine? And everything is all about him. Everything is all about him. For how long, my dear brothers and sisters? For how long are you going to be enslaved to that extent? This is the country that you have been fighting for, right? This is the country that you have been fighting for. For how long? You have been enslaved like this in your own home. This is your right. It is your right. You are working. And you are working, you're supposed to be paid. For how long? How long are you going to be enslaved by regime of Salva Kiir Mayardit? Why? Because of SPLA. Yes, you fought for this country, but no one recognized you. The government doesn't recognize you. But this is your right, and that's why it is necessarily for you to act. I know some people said this guy loses his mind, is out of mind. What are you saying? You know, how are we gonna go out? We're gonna be shoot. So because the government say that we don't have a rubber bullet, we don't have a water cannon. You know, we have a live bullet. We're gonna shoot everybody. Okay, let's go out. Let them shoot everybody, and see how it's gonna end up happening. Right? Because you are dying from hunger, you are dying from disease, and they are the one that actually benefiting from what you're supposed to be getting your fair share. Is it okay like that? We are not out of our mind. We are speaking of the truth. And that truth is the one that will set us free. It is the one that will set us free. We are courageous enough. We have that moral courage. That's why I have to speak every day. This is an obligation from the citizen. So, my dear brothers and sisters, you need to act. Don't listen to people are saying that, oh, nobody's going to do this, nobody's going to do this. I know a lot of people, they don't know the right, and that's why we have to tell them about their rights. Don't be fooled. You have been fooled for a very long time. It is time to act. You deserve decency. You deserve better life. You deserve stability in the country. You deserve stability. You deserve peace and harmony. You deserve good economic. We have a land that can be farmed, and it can be a policy of the new government, because this one cannot do it. They will not do it, and they will never do it. They will never do anything. They will make you dependency on Uganda, because Uganda is the one that keeping him in the power as well. If people of Sudan are acting, and then they get intimidated by Uganda. Exactly like what Idi Amin used to say. He said, if I get attacked by this, and then this country will come and help me, and this, and you know, if you watch Idi Amin movie, you will be laughing. This is exactly what Salva Kiir Mayar is doing to the people of South Sudan, just because of that seat. So with that, I am sending this message, and I will continue to send this message. We will continue to send this message. Please, I want you to share our message by sharing this live episode. Share it on YouTube, share it on Facebook, share it on Clubhouse. This is the favor you can give. If you cannot talk, then share this. There are some people who will get this message, and they will learn through it, and they will act. That's the least that we are asking you. I know some people, they like just to watch and keep quiet. But we are asking you to do so. So now, like, I have 50 people watching, 60, 70 watching, 100, 200 people watching. If you share that, more people will see it, and it can have an impact. You may not see it today, but that impact will happen. This is more education. Thank you so much for watching. I will go ahead and close now the Facebook, and we'll continue in Clubhouse. Maybe some people, they want to add their perspective. And if somebody wanted to come here also, I posted the link below here. If somebody really interested wanted to talk, I can give them that opportunity. If you want to talk, I can give you that opportunity to come and weigh in your perspective as well. Okay? That's what I can do. If nobody is coming here, then I will be able to move on to Clubhouse, and then it will be continued. We will continue, you know, every day. We added more volume to our campaign. So I think if you want to come, if you write here you are coming, I'll wait for you. If somebody right here is coming, is anyone that said wanted to come? Let me check. If somebody said that they wanted to come, I can wait for them. If not, and then I can go to Clubhouse. Okay. I do not see anyone actually wanted to come and weigh in. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Casimiro. Let me go ahead and close this, and then we shall continue. We shall continue on.
Shana, Africa, say it louder. Say Shana. Salam alaikum. Salam.